There was a man who just wanted to stream, but then YouTube's crappy connection destroyed his dream. He thought if he paid 200 a month for internet, he'd get a good bet. Seriously, this Wi-Fi is just I don't even know anymore. I give up. Sometimes when you make stuff you think things will get better, but no, I see clear as day now that that's not the case. I was thinking there's one idea I had is I could probably take both of the streams and merge them together and just make one big video with that. It'll be some nice content. Nice way to farm some content. What seems to happen now is that if you go for like over an hour, it just cuts off. It's really weird. But I tried as hard as I could to save it. I kept switching connections and flipping from this one to that one. It just doesn't work. If your internet doesn't want to work, it won't work. It's like every week there's a new weird thing with this device. Like first it was out of sync, then I fixed that. Now the internet is acting to where like every literally after just an hour it just goes so annoying. I'm saying sometimes you just can't win. It's probably gonna be another one of those Saturdays where I go and get some Starbucks because everything is just everything is just done in excess. No, I really do hate that these computers are the way they are, where just it works a little bit, right? For like a good hour, and after that just I'm only slightly more willing to put up with it because this is such a rare instance where I'm alone and I can, do what I like. But man, that is aggravating. Oh boy, I tell you. Three, man. I'm telling you, sometimes when you deal with these devices, they're almost like people. They just they get really finicky. They start acting up and glitching and doing all types of little weird stuff. It's unfortunate. That's all I can say. It's real unfortunate. Now, the worst part when you start over is you have to hope that whoever showed up the last time will reappear or, get back involved or come back or whatever. And oftentimes people, they see one, they're like, okay, whatever. Because when you have the stream issues, you can't even warn the person like, yeah, I'm gonna do another one, start up another one. So it's always just a problem with this stuff. Oh, it's just so anticlimactic, isn't it? When people are around, you're worried that they're gonna mess up your stream, and then when they're not around, this other thing messes it up with the internet acting like trash. And that's what drives me crazy. Like imagine paying 200 a month for internet and then while you're streaming it just after like an hour plus, we'll decide I'm not going to work now, and to hell with whatever you were doing. Because it's done that on the last 3 streams I've done. So this is just a thing I have to get used to. I guess from now on I can only stream for an hour. Sometimes you just can't win. Whether you're talking about your job or relationships, there's always just something designed to come and throw a wrecking ball in whatever your plan was. Because I held off on that story for a few days. I know I knew about it and did a stream on Thursday, and I was like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see if Megumi shows up. He did, and then of course, because we can't have nice things, we can never have things just line up in a correct way. It all goes like that. So it is what it is. No, I just know the internet is not my friend. Of course, I knew the people on there weren't, but I didn't expect for the the connection to be so lousy as well. I'm reminded of my Starbucks days where you would go up to a Starbucks and just sit in their parking lot and do a stream. And the problem now is that a lot of them have it to where their parking lots are really congested, where you like park in there and someone will honk at you because they're trying to back out, or you can't back out because there's like 5 or 6 cars blocking you in there. It's just it gets really lousy in terms of just how difficult it is to be able to be there. Or sometimes I've seen new ones now where they have on their like 10-minute parking or five, just like little signs that tell you can only be there for a certain amount of time. My thing is, if I'm going to stream, I don't want to just sit here for like 5 minutes and then turn it off. It's stupid. Of course, they'll be like, "Oh, this isn't for. We're not here for that," or whatever. To make some excuse. They'll have some rationale. But no, and I was saying that when people are smart and they want to date somebody that they work with, which I think it's dumb, and regardless of how it's done, because it's just, why would you want to run the risk of losing your livelihood over your crush on somebody else? But people who are smart that date a coworker tend to keep the thing to themselves. They tend to be private with it. They tend to just it's hush hush. No one knows about us except us. That kind of approach. And with Mixed Signals Queen, she really, I guess, like enjoys playing Russian roulette with her job. She just decided, I'm going to not care if I go and do this stuff with this guy right in front of everybody I work with, whatever. So that's what the point I was making. That, and it's like these aren't some middle school, high school kids that have, they work this job and then they go to their house where their parents are there all day. They have cars, they have vehicles. Um, they can go and park anywhere else in the whole damn city and do this nasty stuff, but they decide to do it in front of their coworkers because they don't respect their job and don't respect the people that work there. You would never catch me in the middle, even if I was to hypothetically be in a relationship with someone that I worked with. You would never catch me in a million years doing that stuff, like right in front of the place. Just nuts. Hmm. That's why I said we're dealing with people who have no standards, no ethics, no morals. Um, they just do things. Sometimes I wonder if they even like actually just have any kind of thought put into what they do. Like, at least with a guy, I kind of get the whole, I just probably the only. I mean, I know how it is with the modern male of just being deprived and starved of female attention. So I'm inclined to believe she probably talked him into it, got him to want to do that dirty stuff in front of everybody. But it still is like really dumb, regardless. Like, Just no brains. But yeah, I kept it to myself for months. The whole time that thing was going on with her, I wouldn't let one person up there know that that was happening. I felt like this is our situation. I wouldn't want her to tell anybody if it were the other way around. But I just thought about in the last like month or so how someone could so callously just try to get you, in trouble. And I said, well, if I'm not going to be protected by her, there's no reason I should try to protect her because you see how my attempts to safeguard her are rewarded. So it's really just a matter of like, do I actually want this person to you know have their reputation protected? And that's what gets me, that she seems to really have turned into something of a pariah where it's other women there that are like, yeah, something's up with her and she's weird and she's like this and two timing and all the rest of that stuff. Because I saw bits and pieces of, oh, you're walking with this guy. The other one says I'll pick you up at 8, whatever. But I didn't know the full extent of it until this past Saturday, excuse me, this past Wednesday or Tuesday rather. Yeah, Tuesday. Because I know I made some references to what happened the night before since I worked back to back. But what a revelation that was. And I just kept like trying to get the timeline of this stuff in my mind correct. So the stuff with me and her started in January and it went until the beginning of March. And technically, it went till the last week, the second to last week of March, when I just got fed up with being treated like a second class citizen with the whole "Hey, can I sit by you? I'm watching the video." And around that time is when she apparently started dating this other guy. So now, if we recontextualize it, it makes sense that she I guess that's what I think is so interesting. So I thought I got reported and it was just like I don't care about him anymore. He upset me, just throw him away. But I guess what was going on was after she did that, or around the time she did that, she started doing her stuff with this guy and was like, okay, well, I can now begin phasing him out uh because I'm going to start up this thing with somebody else, and I don't want him, the other one, to think maybe that this is some other person I'm trying to date or whatever. That could have been one of the reasons or rationales for it. They really do just jump from one banana to another. It's whatever, man. People just they do things that I'll never be able to understand. And I have no ill will towards that guy or the other one. I've gotten along with both of those guys, for the duration of time I've been there. All of my frustration and animosity is just exclusively directed at her because uh, I think it's warranted. Oh boy, yeah, people are always just trying to flip from one person to the next. But I do think it's really sad that you put so much time into someone and they just treat you this way like an animal. Like I felt it was almost as if from the time I started speaking to her again until the March 23rd thing that I was like this pest, like, and that's why I gave her that nickname because it was like every time you think the person likes you, they do something that is like, oh no, never mind. And every time you think they don't like it, they do something else where it's like, oh, maybe they want to talk to me. It's just it's such a so I say you can't if you try to read some of these people, you will drive yourself insane because they're just all over the place. Stuff is so backwards nowadays. Oh man, you get so excited to like do things with people, and they find a way to let you down, uh, to disappoint you, to make you regret even wanting to extend yourself in that way. They just always seem to have this kind of like self-defeating thing behind them where it's like, okay, you like this person, but then you don't because you tried to get them in trouble. So which is it? And that's why I said you can't determine which part of them likes you and which part doesn't because it seems as if they're competing with each other because their actions are just so scattershot and all over the place. But yeah, three men, three guys. And it's funny, I really was the hidden man. Like no one knew about me and her until that I mentioned it. This person says they have a friend group that they VC with daily that has four people. It must be nice to I don't know, I guess my thing is I always even if I don't enjoy being alone, I don't really like doing things in groups. I feel like when it's me and somebody else, I can focus more on them. And there is always the whole like three's a crowd thing. Some of these people, they just live on Twitter. They post stuff every single day. And it's not even like once a day, it's like all day long from 8 in the morning to 8 at night or 9 at night. Just tweet, 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 tweet. Like I'm more open to streaming for longer durations of time because it's a day where I'm off. But tomorrow, I'll be laying down sleeping and probably watch something and then go to the job. But those Twitter people, it's like Monday through Sunday, just tweet, 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 tweet. Get this thing in front of me. But no, I look at a lot of the stuff with people just with a sense of regret where it's like, in my mind, I imagine ask this person to go see a movie and you go see the movie. If they like it, they have to do it again. If they do like it, you can do it again. And I just think there's something so amiss about the idea of here's this person who you thought liked you and it just never progresses. It just stays and it doesn't stay the same because you want it to be that way or you're like pushing them away. It's like, no, they don't want it to improve. They don't want it to be, they don't even want to like take the risk, right? Of even giving you that chance to do that. And all it does is just make you more cynical and reclusive and kind of like, well, I guess I shouldn't have even bothered. Seems to be the number one lesson learned from this stuff. Just don't bother. No, my biggest frustration with the three men revelation is that I find something so screwed up about the idea that all I want to do is go see a movie. She can drive herself up there, I can drive myself up there, you know, and I just can't have this. It's too much. We'll never get it. Same person that tells me I can't call her. But then what does she do with these other guys? She's perfectly agreeing to jump in the back of this other one's car. And then with the one that she's now supposedly dating, right, grabs all up on him while they're in front of the judge. And it's like, again, all you asked for is something so much smaller and minor. And you have to go through this 2-month saga just to not even get it. That's the part that frustrates me the most. Like all that time just for nothing. God, they're so good at just making sure you just stay in the same exact spot from start to finish. And that's why I said I really don't feel like trying to talk to another one of them in that way because it's like, who's to say you go up to them and go, hey, want to see a movie? And they agree to it. And then here's like 15 stipulations that you need to fulfill before they can go see the damn film. It's just, you just don't want to get bogged down in that stupid stuff. Like you do it one time, it's very annoying. It doesn't make you feel good at all. And you don't want to find yourself in that same scenario once again. It's just annoying. No, they're fine with just discarding of people like trash because to them you're not a human being. To them you're just this thing they can take and play with, and then when it gets a little inconvenient for them, just throw him away, put him in a dumpster, whatever. He's nothing. I said this before. Like I used to believe her when she said, "I'm not really a social kind of person." I believed it because I saw that she wasn't really talking to anybody else. um Never saw her like do any kind of stuff with people there out or talk about doing stuff out with people there besides me. So when after 2 months of not being able to get her to finally just go see a damn movie, I heard her tell this other guy, uh okay, when he says I'll pick you up at it, I felt like I've been slapped in the face. It felt like the person that was trying the hardest got the least. That's what I wish. I just wish people would tell the truth. If you don't like somebody, you want to hang out with them, just say you don't. Like I told her that when I walked through her car, I said, "You don't have to if you don't want to." They just seem to really get off on wasting people's time, and it's just stupid to me. Like what is gained from let me just sit here and act like I like this person, but then not actually try to do anything with them. One of the things I wanted to talk about actually was the something that I thought was kind of disturbing, but I guess if it's going to be a party of one stream, I'll probably keep it for the actual video when I do it. Um, but man, I just kept thinking about how screwed up the whole thing was. Like all this time goes into this person, and you can't even get them to see a movie with you, but then they'll go and jump in the back of somebody's car or grab up on this guy in front of everyone at the job. Just you look at that stuff and you say, why bother? And I've had two coworkers try to say get over it. Not managers, so of course I don't take them seriously. But my thing is, if someone tries to get you in trouble, tries to screw up your livelihood, and then they don't even have the decency to apologize for doing that, you have the right to be upset over it for eternity. Because look at how serious what they tried to do to you was. This piece of garbage got laughed at for being a flaky liar, and her retaliation was trying to get someone in trouble, but she was so dumb that it didn't work at all. So when you're upset that this person that was sitting there lying through her teeth about how you were her friend would do this to you, would betray you in such a way, her rebuttal is, "Can you please drop it?" Tell you every time I turned around, that's why I said I hope. I know I've talked about it ad nauseum, but I hope I never make the mistake of trying to be friends with a woman ever again. I'm dead serious. Um, when someone has the audacity to call you their friend, and then you're not allowed to call them, or you can't, if you send them a text message, they can't be bothered to respond more than once a day or twice a day. Even if they're it's a day where they're not working, they're theoretically free to, type away at their heart's content. And all they do is stare at their damn phone when they're not working anyway. Just stuff like that. It's so grimy and crappy. And the problem is you don't know these types of behaviors until you've already been ensnared. Like I didn't know anything weird about her until asking her to go see the movie. Only after that do we find out I'm not a call person, I'm not a social kind of person, I'm not a texting person. Everything she can do is just keep pushing you away. And you rationalize to yourself. You say, okay, you know what? She seems to be like this with everyone. That's what she's claiming. But then guess what you find out? Oh, wait, that's not true. Go jump in the other man's car. Go grab on the other one in front of the place. So many lies, man. Now I'm supposed to sit there and see her multiple times a week and just not be upset, not be pissed off. Oh yeah, you can stab me in the back and I'll just smile and pretend it didn't happen because a month passed or 2 months passed. I don't care how much time eclipses, for as long as I have to work around that person, I will remember that. That will be the main thing she's known for. But I guess we can get into the racial aspect of this stuff as well if I just, well, let me talk a little bit more before we fully delve into that. You know, I just feel this overwhelming sense of, it's like it was another layer of betrayal, because the first betrayal is, that person was your friend, they tried to get you fired. Second betrayal is even the little like basic stuff that she told you about herself was not true. I'm not a very social kind of person. I'll pick you up at 8. Okay. Don't be angry. Don't be upset. Don't feel like you've been lied to, even though you have. That's why I said, what's the point of having any type of relationship with any? And I'm not even just talking about the romance. I mean this in a platonic way as well. What's the point of having relationships with people if they lie so much, if they seem to like we all have restrictions on what kind of stuff we don't like, right? I have people that try to do the whole, magic woman will come someday thing, and I'm like, guys, just stop, please. Um, but again, it's like I have a few things where it's just I'd rather not talk about this, say this. How can you call yourself friends with somebody and every time they see you, you're doing this, and then you tell that supposed friend of yours, "Oh yeah, by the way, you can't call me ever." And guess what? When I've observed her outside, she's talking on the phone with people. The day where she messed up my order was that a week or 2 weeks ago. I saw her on the phone with somebody when I was trying to confront her about her lie that I had recordings of her. She was on the phone with someone while she was leaving from the place. So that's why I said, like, it's not even just that someone puts the restrictions, but it's like so blatantly just a restriction on you, and they try to convince you, oh yeah, this is normal. It's normal to have a phone on you all day long, and then this person is not allowed to. I swear, I never thought I'd see the day where where in real life, not talking about the stupid computer chicks, in real life, someone could tell you you can't call them. Like, what is that? Act like it's normal to just sit there and have a phone all day. And then hi person that I see multiple times a week who has heard my voice. You can't call me ever. I don't do calls. He's like, what? And the whole time they're imposing these restrictions on you. I don't do calls. They dodge meeting you outside of there. I'll let you know. 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 The whole time, all this stupid stuff is going on where it's just designed to keep you as far away as possible. What are they doing with other men? Oh yeah, let me jump in the back of your car. Oh, let's make out in front of the whole damn place. God, man, just liars. And again, at first, when I heard the thing about the girlfriend of the guy with the car messing with her, I felt a little bad. But I said, you know what? This is somebody that was perfect. That would have been perfectly fine with me just being thrown out of here. So I have no sympathy. I don't feel bad at all because the truth of the matter is, if she wasn't messing with this guy that is with some woman, then that wouldn't be happening to her, whether they're just friends or not. With her, you can't trust anything that comes out of her mouth, so we don't even know if that's true. Just so many lies. They lie when they don't even have to. Like, hey, you working Monday? Yeah. You working Tuesday? Yeah. You working Wednesday? No. Are you busy on Wednesday? Yep. I guess we can talk about the racial component. Why not? Why not throw that in there? Because I think it's necessary to include. So I mentioned before when I first started working at that place, I felt like people treated me differently than I'd ever had in the past from other places I'd worked. The way they wouldn't say anything to me, walk past me 50 times and just never utter a word. Um, and it's not again, it's not like they're burning a cross in front of you, but it's just it was stuff that I didn't think was the basis of that was based off anything other than my ethnicity. And I spoke to some of the other African Americans that worked there, and they agreed with me. And you know, Mixed Signals Queen, to her credit, was one of the few that I felt treated me okay, right? Where I didn't think it was a big deal. But out of these three guys that she has been stringing along, doing whatever type of stuff with outside of that, whatever you want to call it, out of these three guys, I'm the only one who's black. And as far as I can, because she had a falling out with the one that has the girlfriend where they don't speak to each other. As far as I can tell, she avoids him, he avoids her. Like he'll walk past her, not say a word. I think I've only seen them speak one time since the famed "I'll pick you up at 8" comment was made. But I said it's interesting that out of these three guys, I'm the only one who she apparently could never just straight up meet right outside of there, and the only one who she's confirmed to have tried to get in trouble or retaliate by getting in trouble. So even though this other one has a girlfriend that is like actually messing with her, as far as I can tell, because people talk about this stuff and they would mention if it had happened. He he has not been targeted by her in any way. Like his, her she hasn't called into HR. His girlfriend is bothering me and calling me over and over. It hasn't done that. Only the out of the three, the only one that she has tried to get in trouble happens to be one of the few blacks that works there. The one that she pushes away the most. Oh, you can't call me. Oh, I'm not really a texting person. I'm not really a social kind of person. Only one that just gets all this is the black one. Interesting. I think I know a video I need to make on this situation. And again, it's like I notice stuff like this. See, if back when I thought it was just me and her and she doesn't talk to any other guys there, which I have no problem with her doing. It's just when I see the difference in how we're treated, it upsets me. But it's like back when she existed in like a vacuum, right? Where I had no reason based off what I saw to believe that she was fibbing or doing anything specifically towards me that was wrong. I took her at her word. I didn't have these like thoughts, but it just doesn't make sense to me, right? That you're so much more accessible with these other guys. But then when it's me, it's like I have this weird, almost second class or like citizenship or third rate status. Like it's so bad that I remember the first day we started speaking again. And I asked if I could walk her to her car. And she doesn't immediately leave after getting off because she's waiting for her food. And you would think, okay, I'm sitting down right here. This other person's right here. We're going to talk. No, she just stares at her phone the whole time, just like this. I'm sitting right next to her, just doing this. It's her the whole time. Then after she gets the food, opens the door, goes out before me, keeps the door open for me, very nice. And then as she's taken to her cars, we have like a little minute of an exchange. I'm like, hey, there was something I want to talk to you about. He's like, oh, what? And it's like, did you really think I just wanted to walk you to a vehicle and like you get in and then I just wave and that's it? Like, are you serious? Really? But that was my point of like it seemed as if the only time she would even tolerate me at all or show any kind of actual interest in me, it was always when we were clocked in and up there. I told the story of how I sent her a drawing. I worked on this drawing for I think 2 days on and off. And this same broad who said, you do art, when she gets some art, she doesn't even respond to it. I have to see her at the place and say, hey, I sent you a drawing I did. How come you didn't just to get her to even like acknowledge that it was sent to her. But I'm just so tired of the like subtle hints of this idea that I'm this pest, this thing that just will not leave, that bothers them by being around them, you know? Because that's what ultimately like I it took it took her just going hard in the pain of both lying about not doing stuff with people outside of there and the like when you offer to sit by this person, I'm not a very social kind of person. It took those two things together to make me finally get cured of wanting anything to do with her outside of there, where it was like, okay, you know what, forget this, to hell with it. Sit there and try to talk to somebody, and for what, they're gonna act like if they talk to you, the video on their phone disappears forever and it goes into another zone and they never get to see it again. I'm just tired of the poor treatment. I really am. And I used to get mad when they wouldn't speak to me. Now I don't even care. I said I'd rather they not speak to me than try to pretend they care about me and then do what she did. I felt like such an idiot when that lady called me and I told her, "Hey, I don't want to have any kind of like retaliation taken against her. I'd like to just talk about this with her like an adult." And I thought, "Hey, I can speak to her. We can come to some understanding. Can you please drop it?" God. So I said, I just got tired of bending over backwards for this idiot. So no, I don't feel bad that more people know what she is. They really surprised me. I thought only like one or two people knew what she was besides me, but it's like it's stuff that doesn't even have anything to do with me is what gets me. Like she's just gone around in the last 5, 6, 7 weeks, just getting more emboldened to I don't even know what you would call it. Show off her perverse side with this guy in front of everybody. But it's interesting, isn't it? All those times that you tried to just talk to this person, they could barely respond, tells you you can't call her. And really, that's where the dehumanization stuff comes from. Like this idea that I'm going to block you from being able to do basic things with me and then also expect you to still put up with me. Because I should have said to hell with you when she said I'm not into calls or I don't do calls. That was the first clue that there was something wrong with that dingbat. Because like I said, I've never in my entire thing of just speaking to people in real life, not the computer ones, in real life, had someone tell me I can never call them. That's weird. And then they're not even consistent because every time they go on break, you see them on the phone with someone. I'm not a very social kind of person. Yeah, you are with every damn body else. 2 months wasted on that complete idiot. No, next time one of these chicks says I don't do calls, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a coworker, some woman at the mall, the mail lady. The next time one of them says that, that's an instant death blow for me being interested in talking to them. Because that's weird. I'm not going to sit here and normalize that. If they want to be stupid and make up little nonsensical rules, then let them do it with other men. I'm not playing that game anymore. I just didn't think they'd be so extreme as to do it towards someone that they know in real life. I thought that was just a thing they did on the computer. The next time one of them stands me up at the last minute when we schedule to go and see a damn movie, I'm not apologizing. If they want to talk to me after that, to hell with them. Because, like I said, almost every time I give someone a second chance, they come back and do something, and it makes you like it. It's almost like they're competing with their past self. They're trying to find a way to do something so screwed up that it makes the way they acted in the past seem almost nice by comparison. I'm serious. Like it's like a trend where with Miss Revolving Door, here's this broad. You stop talking to her after like she ignores you for after you talk to her for I guess like 3 weeks, 4 weeks in voice chats and whatnot. And then when she comes back, she promises to stop doing this, does it again. Uh, Not even just the passive aggressive stuff, but like unfriends you so you can't because to like prove the idea that you're this pest. Then when you do your videos on her, she wants to cry wolf and talk about how you made unnecessary videos on me when. Every time you give one of these just demons a second chance, they always find a way to come back and do something stupid and make it even worse. Every time. I should have just got stood up, let her be mad at me, even though she was one that messed it up, and just never spoken to her again. If I had stopped there, then there wouldn't have been no stupid report. There wouldn't have been 2 weeks of being let on. There wouldn't be, I'm watching a video. I wouldn't even think about her. Really, I honestly just regret even like thinking it was a good idea to ask her to go see a movie. It's interesting, isn't it? They can mess things up so much to where you just wish you could go back and reboot the whole thing. Like it really shows you that there truly is nothing good that comes out of your dealings with them. Like when you talk to one of them, it's like you're setting yourself up to be. It's almost like you're walking in a minefield, and every new step you take is just inevitably getting you to. Seriously, like it's insane to me just how the most basic of stuff they can screw up, they can ruin, they can do something weird. God. Hey, want to go see a movie? Yeah, even though I'm going to stand you up at the last minute. Hey, want to get picked up at 8? Okay, even though I'm going to stand you up at the last minute. Hey, want to make out in front of or do weird, nasty stuff in my car in front of the whole staff, even though we're coworkers and get in trouble? Yeah. I feel really tempted to make the sequel to My Unpopular Color because I can't. There's no other rationale to explain this besides the racial stuff. I'm not even kidding. Like I saw the way that she treated the other two and the way that I was treated, and I know it's not fair. And I know that that place and the people that work there have a history of doing subtle bigoted things. So I wouldn't be surprised if she followed the lead of the other ones up there and was like, okay, I got to remind you what you are. Since you want to sit here and make fun of me, I have to show you that you're a second class employee. That you're beneath me. that you're a lesser than individual. You're so much lesser than me that you can't even hear my voice on the phone. You're so much lesser than me that I won't even go to see a movie with you that you're probably going to pay for everything of. You're so lesser than me that when you come and try to sit by me, I'll tell you that I'm too busy watching this video. Somebody sitting in front of a camera and recording that matters more than you, even though I can watch the video anytime I want and I'm only around you for like a few hours a day. But yeah, the video is way more important. Get out of here. Told you at these jobs, you're treated like a second class citizen. And it's mostly by these god awful chicks. They don't care. They will throw you completely off a ledge. You truly can ask for the most basic of things with a woman, and it'll be too much. Like I have plenty of guys up there. They're like, "Hey, want to go to the mall? Hey, want to walk with me up here to get something to eat?" I say, "Sure, yeah, okay." Uh, no aversion whatsoever, or any type of like problem with doing that. I'd have to be really busy to just never be available to doing something like that. And I, in every instance where someone has asked me to do that, I have. But with these chicks, man, you couldn't even ask them to say hello to you. That's how just closed off they are, and especially that one. I don't know what these last few months have been. It's not something that's normal. I can tell you that. It's part Looney Tunes, part Twilight Zone. Just a bizarre phase I've entered into. And like I said, every time I'm around her, I just feel this immense sense of frustration because it's like all this time went into this complete buffoon and like nothing was gained. Not only was nothing gained for you, but you see that she apparently is willing to give it out to other people. She's not reporting them for making her uncomfortable. She's not well, she did stand up the other one, but still it's like his girlfriend is actually messing with her, and she, as far as I can tell, she takes down the chin. Oh, I'm being harassed by your girlfriend. Don't worry, I'm not going to report you. Oh, but that guy that lightly teased me one night after I kept wasting his time. Yeah, I'll go and it off with his head. And again, 2 months later, no apology, no attempt at even acknowledging that she did something wrong. Only time she directly said anything about it was, "Can you please drop it?" No, I'm not dropping it. Yeah, I had two of them. I had the one I told on Tuesday, and then this other guy who's like, I think you should let this go. I'm like, no, 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 no. I've let it go in the sense that I don't bother her. I don't try talking to her. But as far as let me just say nothing about this, pretend it didn't happen, hell no. Yeah, let's see them get called by HR and start sweating, one trying to figure out, oh my god, what did I do? What's going to happen to me? And then see how easy it is for them to pretend it didn't happen. People just expect you to put up with anything. It's really crazy. Just sit there and don't be mad. Don't be upset. Shh. Keep it to yourself. Lie down and be oppressed. I'm not taking anything on the chin. You want to sit there and try to get somebody in trouble? Okay. Well, when it fails, you should be prepared to deal with the consequences of that. And like I said, I didn't even know that many people knew she was a slime ball. Like, she really seems to have turned into a pariah. Like, every time I've seen someone talk about her, it's due to how disgusting or mean they think she is. I don't feel bad for her. I should be the main one leading that allegation, which isn't even an allegation; it's the truth. She's a moralist plague on society. Like, don't ever believe that just because someone looks cute with their little, 30 pounds of makeup and they're like 5'2" and they're really skinny and they can, they have their little manicured nail. Don't ever think that just because you see all that little prettied up crap that they're a good person or not someone that deserves to be seen as worse than dirt. Act like I'm crazy for being upset that someone betrayed me. Anyone who's ever called themselves being friends with somebody would be upset that that happened to them. I'm serious. For as long as I live, I'm going to make sure that I don't try to become friends with any woman ever again. Like, I've had periods over the last few years where I felt, I guess, lonely in the general sense that, I have these different relatives that they can be around you all day long and just say nothing to you. They don't ever want to do anything with you on their days where you're both off and not working, or sent to school or whatever. So I think that created a vacuum where it made me more like seeking out basic companionship, and that's something that I think she exploited. But from now on, I'd rather just sit in this dark room, turn the light off, and just watch something than talk to another one of these bastards. Like that was like some nightmare scenario of what a relationship is supposed to be, where, hey, person that claims to like me, oh, you want to call me? I don't do calls. Oh, you want to go see a movie together? Oh, okay, yeah. I'm setting you up, but yeah, I'll agree to it before I stand you up. Uh, oh, you want to text me? Well, I'll respond twice a day, if not once a day, if not even less than that. God, man. All these hoops you jump through, not even to date a woman, like not even to be a couple or any of the other, because I really couldn't care less who she dated, but just to like be friends, quote unquote, with someone. All this, and at the end of all those efforts, you have nothing but a false report, a waste of time, and the insinuation that you were treated this way because of your ethnicity. Because, like I said, the rest of them up there, they've been doing that since I started there. This one I thought was one of the good ones, as far as, more tolerant, and didn't see me as whatever. But no, it appears that you never can escape that perception of you. Because of your ethnicity, they think you're stupid. They think they can pull the rug from under you. They think you'll fall for any little dumb trick they have. They feel like they can treat you like crap and get away with it. They really believe that if it's a black person, we can treat him like less than a person. I'm not even saying this to be funny. I'd never had these types of problems with people until going over there. And based off the way I was treated by her compared to how she treats the other ones, I think there's a case to be made. I honestly believe that. Hey, other two guys that I guess wanting to talk to, I'll get in your car and do weird stuff with you in front of the place. Oh, the black one wants to hang out with me. Well, not, here comes my 900 reasons why I can't do it. And let me always keep saying that I think he's an idiot. So let me keep saying I'll let him know and then not let him know and then see if he watch him never catch on. No, that didn't work out too well for her. It's just sad, man, how you can have the most basic desires. Like, how do you go from talking to somebody to just now they won't even look at you? When you see them, you feel like this like eye rolling irritation, like, oh, her again. How does that happen? Well, you know what I was considering? I'll probably just stick them like one thing I might do is maybe unlist both of them and then merge them as a video. No, Megumi, I was saying that what I thought is really funny is that she has a type. All three of the men wear glasses and we're all like around the same height. So the joke is that anytime there's a guy that works there that's kind of like, like youngish and wears glasses, she's going to try to, I don't know, pretend she likes them before stabbing them in the back. And I also said that I never brought this up before. So the other two guys are, one of them is Hispanic, another one is, I think, some other ethnicity, and then she is Hispanic as well. And I was saying that, I told you before about the racial stuff at this job. I think her poor treatment of me was racially motivated because it's like she gets into a falling out with the guy with the girlfriend, even though his girlfriend is messing with her. No report on him, doesn't try to get him in trouble with the job, right? Even though there's like a credible thing of like, she didn't just get my number out of thin air, you probably gave it to her. So that's why I was saying that I felt like the way I was treated was the worst, and it was because of my race. And I was stitching together the timeline because they told me that she started dating the other one like last month or whatever. So what probably happened is that when she did her report, she spent like 2-3 weeks, looking for some new guy to waste to like do stupid stuff with. And in that time where I was trying to like still talk to her, make amends, she was fine with just basically, pushing me away even more at that point because it's like you're being phased out. Like, oh no, I've got this new man to waste the time of, so I don't need to speak to you anymore. Goodbye. They lay traps in order to get a laugh. I've noticed that they'll play with your emotions just to entertain themselves, just to say how stupid we can become. It's deeply rooted Western behavior. That woman is a demon, man. And Megumi, it's so funny being called an I word over talking trash about her online when even the other chicks at the job don't like her. Like the one that told me about this stuff said we knew how bad she was. I was like, I didn't. because the timeline is that in the last 5, 6, 7 weeks, she's been doing all types of weird stuff with those two guys to where they didn't even know about the stuff with me and her because it started all the way back in January. Megumi, imagine if I told you that, like, imagine if you wanted to go see a movie with me, right? And every week I go, I'll let you know, and I never let you know. And I tell you, oh, I'm not a very social kind of person. And then some other guy, it could be Butt Muncher 45, for example. He's like, hey, Justin, let's go see a movie. I'm like, okay. Wouldn't you feel like you'd been misled or lied to? Because when you thought it was just me acting this way with everybody, you were like, okay, well, that's weird, but that's them, right? But now you know that somebody else got better treatment. It calls into question, is this just how you are with everyone else, or are you just treating me this way in particular for whatever reason? No, Megumi, you remember me talking about how the way that these people acted, where they walk past you 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day and don't say a word to you, and only talk to you when they want something done. But then when they're around somebody that they know, I told you about that before. It could be the same thing with her, where it's like, she didn't mind me as a coworker, but oh, this black guy wants to be friends with me. He wants to go to the movies with me. Can't let that happen. I'm serious, man. Like three men. And the only one that she goes and tries to stick a blade right in the chest of is me. The other one's girlfriend gets to call her at 8 in the morning, damn near apparently every morning or every couple of days, whatever. No reports made on him. Very evil and demonic. All right, it's been an hour, so I guess that the stream will probably cut off. But if it does, I'll just I don't know. I might just like say forget it at that point because now I've been going for 2 hours because the other one is still up. And let's keep our fingers crossed. I'm gonna end up jinxing it. Dude, I'm telling you, when I revealed who she was, that woman was like, no, her. You could tell she just had this idea. It was two guys, and then here comes the secret third one. Race, unfortunately, is a valid point to make as well. Blacks get the most harshest treatment for sure. But think about this: the other one of the guys, the same race as her, and then the other one is possibly as well. He's either Hispanic or white. I'm not entirely sure. And the one guy who's neither of those, you know, him and his unpopular color, he gets told that he can't call her, and we know that she does calls to people because I've seen her talk to people on the phone during the breaks. If he sends her a text message, she either doesn't respond or he has to send another one, or she responds like once or twice a day at maximum. Um, what she stands him up when she agrees to go see a movie with him, and then uh gets mad at him for being mad at her, even though she's the one that messed it up. Like, I I can't look at this stuff the way I was treated, and then how much stuff she's willing to do with these other guys, and not feel like, yeah, there's something racial about this stuff. There's something where maybe if I was a different ethnicity, I'd be shown a little bit more respect. We're really gonna have my unpopular color too. I'm not even gonna put the number to Roman numerals. Dude, she's a like. I'm not kidding. I don't know a single person there that likes her at this point. I've seen like 3, 4, 5 chicks talk about her negatively. Um, the one of the guy that I went to the mall with, I told him about her. He had like his own weird dealings with her, as far as not like anything like with mine, but just when he would talk to her, she was kind of reserved and seemed not to be really friendly towards him. So it's like everyone knows that she's crappy, put it that way. And I'm glad about that. I am. It didn't I just think it's funny. It didn't even take me getting involved for other people to be like, yeah, something's wrong with her. They saw the love triangle. They got scared for a second. It was a love square. I said, no, 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 no. And it just seems like every time I come up there, there's some new weird thing with her. I'm serious. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence that the only black person of the three gets this treatment. The worst thing about it is that there is no remorse with her for the things that she does. No, she stands you up. Oh well. She reports you. Oh well. And I told you, she thinks she's slick. Like, maybe I didn't make myself clear when I told you about how I got angry. Well, I didn't get angry, but I mentioned like during one of those out of sync streams that I tried to order my food and she said name and I was like, really? And then she tried to charge me full price even though I had a discount. And I was saying that I was so offended by her not knowing my name because one, you've been working with me for as long for literally for months and months now. But secondly, I know that she recognizes me without my like uniform hat on because the night that we got, like the night before she did her report, I was outside reading my book with my hat off, and she instantly was like, she could tell it was me. So I haven't had some radical transformation in terms of appearance. She just was being a jerk. Name? I said, really? She recognized you enough to make that report. That's what I said. I was like, hey, you knew my name when you made that report. You don't like you don't just call in on the report and you're like, I want to report somebody. Okay, what's his name? Uh he's tall and he he has brown hair and he's black. Like you know what I mean? Like you have to have the name of the person to even make the report. Like, come on. Dude, like, they think everybody is just a complete idiot and they're the only smart person. Like, no, we see through it. Her logic really just falls flat and makes herself look extremely dumb. Well, I told you she is dumb. Like, think about this. You're going to agree to see a movie with somebody just to stand them up at the last minute. And then let's skip forward a few more parts. Then, when you get mad at them over making fun of you, you try to report them for making you uncomfortable, but then you're so stupid that you're on video coming and sitting by the same person that you're alleging made you uncomfortable. And then you're going to start dating one of your coworkers apparently, but you're so like, I guess, like, this is what's weird to me. She clearly cares about having the job because they almost were about to get rid of her when she kept showing up late. And that's why she's been showing up on time ever since they talked to her. But then you apparently don't care because you started dating a coworker, and your dating of him includes jumping up in his car and doing, whatever, right in front of the damn entrance to the place. No, I knew they weren't making up that guy dating her because I saw them walking together during one of the shifts we had where we both ended left at the same time. I just didn't see them like actually touching, right? So I just figured, that's just some guy she's talking to, whatever. How wrong I was. It's funny, like I saw them walking their car. I was like, wow, that was me last month. Hey, things change. Wonder how long it'll be before she reports him. I guess that was just a special thing she did for me, huh? Dude, I'm still laughing at her like, I'll pick you up at 8. Okay, and then you stand him up and then go to that same event with the other guy in your pajama. Like I thought they were making that up because they told me, like I asked the one of the managers, can we go in our regular stuff? We have to be in uniform. Oh, you have to be in your uniform. So like I was like, how what like you I'm just saying you like that wasn't even a kind of thing where you could just come in whatever because I saw the pictures from it and people were in their uniforms. So it's like you came there specifically wearing that to be like, yeah, we're together. What of it? I'm telling you, man, these chicks, there's something wrong with them. Oh my God. I do find that funny that the three men all wear glasses. Like I just when we're around each other, we was like, I wonder who's the next person she's trying to talk to and pretend to like. Are there any visual hints that could give us an indication of who that might be? That's her type. She only liked me for my spectacles. Hell, never liked me at all, actually, but it is what it is. Dude, things with chicks are so backwards now that if I asked one of them to go see a movie with me and they said no, I would smile. Like I'm not even trying to be funny. If I asked one of them, "Hey, you want to go see a movie?" and they said no, I would have a PTSD flashback to when I asked the other one and be happy that okay, that's it. It's over. No 2-month saga. We don't have to have a repeat of that. Seriously, things are so backwards that you're more excited getting turned down than being accepted. Because when you get accepted, it's not a clear-cut road of okay, I'll meet you up here at this time, pick you up, whatever, etc. God, things are so backwards. I'm telling you, when you deal with them, you might as well just give up. I see that Jedi Master was like, I'm gonna make a quick cameo. He's gonna pull a Dio, make a quick cameo, then exit. He's like, I don't want to get involved in this. 2020s, you're gonna see women at their best. Dude, I'm not kidding. I never thought I would see the day where a woman in real life, someone I can physically grab and touch, would tell me, You can't call me. I never thought I'd see that. I knew the computer chicks were crazy and they do all types of stuff to keep you at arm's length, but damn. I'm not kidding. For as long as I live, if I ever meet another woman who calls herself trying to be my friends or getting to know and says you can't call me, I'm not. That's it. We're done. That's it. I'm serious. Like that's a non-starter. That's so bad that if you told me I could either talk to a woman who had committed manslaughter or a woman who says you can't call me, I'd rather talk to one that committed manslaughter. At least I know what she's up to, what she's about. Just weird, man. Weird. Don't get mad at me for not trying to join her harem. So again, the timeline must have been that around the time that she did her thing to me, she started talking to the other guy, and then they became a couple in like 3 weeks, in like a really rapid amount of time. And do you know you get where that's like a slap in the face to me because it's like I'm not even like talking about the romance stuff or whatever, but you get where that's another like kind of just where it's like people want you to go and talk to chicks for months and months and months and months and months, but then here's this broad that works with this guy and they talk for like a few weeks and now all of a sudden they're dating. It's like, wow. I just thought it's funny. It's like 2 months of talking to her and you couldn't even get her to go see a damn movie, but he talks to her for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and they do all this little nasty stuff in front of the place. That has always never made sense to me. Dude, we're really gonna have to make my unpopular color too. At least I'll be able to monetize this one because there's not the N word on screen every 10 seconds. God, just so pathetic, man. The one who puts in a lot of work ends up with nothing, but another person who barely puts in any work gets a desired result. And you know what's funny? It's like by that logic, I should be the one getting the desired result because it's like when I asked her to go see a movie, I hadn't spent months curating her and trying to woo her. It's like no, that was a spur of the moment. There, I was like, you know what? I think I had like a week of deliberation, but because of like all the nonsense with her, like wasting my time and then being mad at me, like it stretched it out even more just to get to that same thing that was promised to you. Like all the way into March, you were trying to get the thing that was guaranteed to you or promised to you at the end of January. And then a lot of people usually say it is down to luck. Well, I told you, I made the romance curse for a reason. I'm not even just talking about romance anymore. I just feel like with relationships, there's some kind of either higher deity or mythical thing where it's like, how can we just sink him, I'm not even trying to be funny. I've felt that way with like I've had a few people that I've been grateful for the companionship of, but in general, especially with these chicks, they leave a lot to be desired. They leave you just wondering, like sometimes you look up in the sky and you're like, is this as good as it gets for me? Oh, by the way, Megumi, we might have a repeat of the homeless saga. Uh I hope not, but I'm kind of getting pushed in that direction. It won't be the same as last year because this time I have a job and yeah. Well, I mentioned in the video, I said I agreed to that like that 300 a month thing, and then because of this other thing, it's like 1,000 a month, and it's like you're supposed to pay that on top of having to buy your own food and gas and other utilities. Um, so the circumstances have changed since last year, but the person doesn't care to like adjust it. Like, okay, uh, you have to pay this other thing when they don't have to pay 300 a month anymore. It's like they don't care. They want that on top of this other thing. So I'm like, you know what? If it's too much, I'm not about to sit here and be afraid that if I go and spend 30 a week on getting some food, I'm not going to be able to pay their ransom. So I'll just leave again. It's timely too. I actually marked the anniversary last week. On the first, I was remembering the anniversary. I remember that morning. Sell me $500. To hell with that. And that's why I was so disgusted with Molecule Splitter because I have worked every single chance I've been given at that job. I haven't called out sick one day. I picked up other people's shifts. I picked up shifts. Um, so every chance I've had to make money, I have, and it drives me absolutely insane that I'm being as price gouged as I am. But at least with that 600, 700 a month, if that were it by itself, I could manage. The other person slapping on 300, man, to hell with that. By the way, the manager called me into the office, called my name because I like turned back. I got scared for a second. I was like, "Oh, what are they gonna do?" They gave me a gift card. They said I always work hard and I never complain. They appreciate me. I was like, "Wow." I couldn't believe it. It's been a long time since I felt appreciated. You're getting commended for your consistency and hard work. Well, that's what's frustrating to me because it's like this: when I didn't have a job, this person called me lazy. But then when you get one, they call you a fool for driving as far as you do to go work. So it's like you just either way you can't win. You'd be surprised how often you're just put in unwinnable situations. Like, oh yeah, do this, and then you do it. Oh no, it's not good enough. I was not expecting that gift card, man. I was like, oh, wow, thanks. People just always find a way to like make everything so rancid. Yeah, we might end up having the Homeless Saga sequel, Resurrection H. It's whatever, man. I've tried as hard as I can to survive, and I really believe that my circumstance is pretty lousy. Um, there is a way to change it, but it will require some rough stuff. Like I'd rather just be able to come here and lay down and do my stream and go to the job and pay this other thing that's like 600 or 700 every damn month. But if I have to pay that and then also pay 388 or whatever, it's like, and then not that's not even including the cost of like food and gas. Man, serious, I've been putting up with that for since January. Like it's been now 5 months of your whole damn income, like earnings from that month go to these two separate pairs of bills, and one of them you don't even like there's no long-term gain for me paying it. It's literally just so this person doesn't get mad at me. So they're gonna have to throw a temper tantrum because I'm really sick of this. I don't feel bad about anything I've done. I have worked as hard as I can. Um, and if they can't recognize that, then they can piss off. Oh man. 2 streams in one day. I keep the other one up because I do like those like 20 minutes of the revelations. Nothing you can really do if they are choosing to be unfair and scummy towards you. But you get my point, Megumi, right? That when that deal was made last year, I wasn't paying 6 or 700 um on top of like, that 300 they wanted. So it's like they're taking from me half the amount for this other thing I have to pay and then expecting me to like somehow survive off of whatever is left following being drained by these two separate things, one of which is something that this person can pay themselves. And I know they can because when I left that month, they paid the bill I pay. Talk about I owe them. The hell. And I mentioned that they take $100 for supplies. But then you still have to buy your own soap and toothpaste. And that's why I said, man, people just never an honest phrase. Oh, by the way, they're so destitute, but they found a way to, every year they find a way to travel to another country. It's interesting because I wanted to go to Texas this year, but I was afraid to spend $300 knowing all this other stuff I'd have to pay for. But every year they find a way to go and travel somewhere else. No matter how much they sing the "I'm so poor" wow song, they always find a way to come up with some magic money to go to another country. Interesting, huh? So I said, what did Benjamin Franklin say? Believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. They use that as a smokescreen. Megumi, I'm not even joking. Every single year, you hear the same song. I'm so poor. I can't help you. This costs too much. I have all this other stuff I'm paying for. Wah. But then guess what? When it's around like that time of the year, that middle portion, they always find a way to leave the country. Cuba, Mexico, whatever, all like I'm really sick of that, man. I'm really tired of it. Like I'm glad to be away from them for several days each year, but it's also obnoxious because it's like you're gonna just not help me with anything I need, but then tell me about how poor you are where you find. So it's just it. That's why just don't buy it, man. Don't buy it. I'd sooner believe in Santa than them just being so destitute. And remember, they don't have any sympathy for you. Otherwise, they wouldn't charge you 300 a month to stay here. I told my friend about that. He said, "Your family charges you to stay with them?" I was like, "Yeah, so much love." So this better be the last month I have to pay that thing because if I have to pay that and that other 300, I'm out. I'm done. If I have to, I'll pick one and it'll be the bigger one. And then this one will just be they can figure it out themselves. I really don't want to have a repeat of that thing from last year, but they're pushing me in that direction. I can understand paying something for your keep, but the amount shouldn't be as outrageous as how much they are charging you. Well, look, my thing is, I think it is hypocritical to tell somebody that you can't help them pay for basic utilities like food and gas, but then also stick your hand out expecting them to assist you with something. I've always found that to be rather bizarre because they try to pretend like if you are living somewhere rent free, you're not paying for anything, but you are. You're paying for your survival by the stuff you pay for to even be able to live. And they also have to like stretch their hand out to get something from you. I just find it hypocritical. And like I said, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I didn't have to worry about this. Let the record show all it takes for someone's life to go from good to trash is one person not being in it anymore. This is not normal. Um, at some later point, I may go into more details about it, but it's really frustrating when you get to a point where very unstable living situation. Yeah. And again, it's like, what more do you want from me? Like, do I have to work two jobs just to pay all this stuff where one of them is just you sticking your hand out for? That's why I said I'm really getting sick of it. And it's been like this for almost half a year. Right after I got that job, had to start paying for this stuff for this place, and then every month 600, 700. Like, god damn. That's why I had the line about I work for nothing. And I said before, like it makes me sound crazy, but I honestly was less afraid being homeless than living somewhere because when I was homeless, I didn't have to worry about paying any damn bills. I didn't have to worry about, oh man, if I don't have this amount by this month, they're gonna come and seize my car. Like I I wasn't none of that concerned me. It was just what can I eat today? Let me make sure I have enough food for the night. Um, place to park, whatever, whatever. So if it takes doing that again, I'll do it. Because they know what they're doing is wrong. They just don't care. But they'll care when I'm gone. If they want to sing the I'm so worried about him song. Very unstable, man. And I pledge to you, I am trying as hard as I can. Like 2 years ago, I didn't have a job. I've had a job for 6 months now. And it's like all of my income goes to paying for all this crap that does not benefit me in the slightest. You see, I've never got that about those kind of relatives. Well, that's why I speak so disparagingly of them. Like if someone is fine with not knowing if you're alive or dead, if someone is fine with you not being able to afford getting a meal to eat or gas to even be able to, go to the job that they claim you should have, I have no problem calling them worthless. Because look at all the stuff this person needs, these basic utilities, and you don't give one damn about them. And it goes beyond just like buying something. I tell you, I had the same relative every year. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't want to work. He's lazy. Doesn't want to do anything. And guess what? When I finally get jobs, it wasn't because they sat down and helped me. How much would it cost for them to help me apply for jobs? How much would that cost? So I said, they're worthless. Even when something costs them nothing, they still can't do it. When they don't see you anymore, they start singing, "Oh, I'm so worried about him. I wonder how he's doing." Yeah, they love that song. But guess what? When you were there in front of them, they didn't give a damn. They didn't give a hoot. I'm telling you, man, I feel like I live in a soap opera. Like I feel as if every week there's some new development where it's just like, really? Like that stuff with that woman. I know it sounds made up. I know she sounds like a cartoon character. I've never dealt with half of this stuff before. I'm serious. Out of all the years and all the chicks, that this was the first one that has done a lot of things. I've worked multiple jobs, never once asked any of them, any of the chicks there, you want to hang out, whatever. Never felt the desire to do that. I am still trying to process mixed signals, Queen. She is a very bizarre character. It's just so insane. She's lucky I don't do that thing that those other people do where they go and they talk to the partner and they're like, hey, so how you doing? And they kind of like become really friendly with the person that they're with to try and like subtly warn them about them or to get back at them. She's real lucky. I don't put the time into doing stuff like that because me and that guy do get along. So I could, if I really wanted to, try to like nudge him in that direction. I just don't care enough about sticking my nose in stuff with other people to even, directly say something. But uh rest assured, in the instances where someone has directly asked me about her or maybe like my bad experiences there, I don't mince words. Like everyone knows something is wrong with her now. It's really nice. I feel like I'm no longer on an island because I told you that during those 2 months when I was doing those streams on her, that would like no one at that job knew what was going on between me and her. Like not even the managers because the HR people, they said the lady said I'm not going to report this or go further with this. It's stupid. So even they didn't know about me and her. It was literally just like one like two relatives, my friend, and the like stream stuff. Like it was just this private hell where you're around this person, they're treating you poorly, but you don't want to say anything because you're hoping, maybe they'll change, maybe they'll get better. But after that March 23rd thing, I was finished. Anytime somebody wants to know about what she is, I let them know. People don't want to protect you, you shouldn't protect them. If you'll excuse me, I'll be making out with this woman right in front of my job that we apparently want to keep, even though we're so stupid. We're going to do something like that in front of all these witnesses. That's what drives me crazy. Like at least if you're gonna do stuff like that, be discreet. You have cars, go park somewhere else. Nope, right in front of everybody. Yeah, two different coworkers talking about you should let it go or you're still on that. Or it's like, yes, I am. I'll get over it when she apologizes. As long as that hasn't happened, I'm not getting over it. It's just so funny how somebody can just completely tank their own reputation. Like, if she left the one guy alone, his girlfriend wouldn't be messing with her. Uh, and then I'm sure even if she were dating one of them, it would be like whatever. But the fact that it was two at the same time, and then they found out there was actually a secret third one before the other two. Three men. It's so ironic as well hearing these silly guys online defend women like they don't act promiscuous or engage in expletive acts as if they don't get blank urges. Well, they talk about them like they're nuns, like they're just these darling, little angels, and we're the big bad monster wolves trying to do something with them. But with that's why with her it was so disturbing, because all I wanted was to go see a movie. I didn't want to touch her. I didn't want to grab on her. I was perfectly fine with just, let's go sit here and see this film. And if you like it, we'll do it again. If you don't like it, we'll never do it again. I mean, I was even willing to put up with her telling me I couldn't call her just to go see a movie. And it's like, you jump through all these hoops, still end up with nothing. How's that fair? So I said everything is just so backwards. But it is nice to see her get the reputation that she has now. Like, it's either people don't know who she is because she doesn't like talk to that many of them, or if they do know who she is, they don't like her. Like the one that said the guy called her a leprechaun. She was like, I could see that after I mentioned it to her. She's like, she's trying to pretend to be friends with me. And you could tell she doesn't like her because she told me what she was saying to her, like behind her back. The other one of them literally like swore on the life of their child that they hadn't mentioned what I told them to anybody else. That's how desperately they want me to believe I can trust them. I'm like, yeah, well, if you say so. She brought it entirely on. You know what? Look, Megumi, I know you're not really into politics, but there's a section in this book that I think is so accurate. Um, because I feel like it summarizes the way that these women are. And when I say women, I'm not even just talking about her, but she's like one of the main ones. Um, God, if I could find it. Where there's like you hear something like it's a good line by itself, and you're like, man, this could be applied to a lot of stuff. But I do agree that she brought it on herself because if she wanted to date somebody, she didn't have to like do stuff with the other guy too. And the stuff with me, that like I only have resentment towards her because of like being led on and then reported. Like if she had gone to see a movie with me and then was like, I don't really like this that much. I think you're nice, but I'd rather not, whatever. That there's almost like no chance I would still be months later pissed off and, like, oh, did you hear about this? I'm still laughing at my friend. Remember, he made the prediction. He was like, what do you think of Justin's new job? They're gonna take it from him again, and the giant hand just stretches to the whole time you're there just to snatch the shovel away. So much gossip and drama revolving around this one. And dude, that's what was so crazy to me, that like I didn't even know the other. Like I knew, again, I saw her talk to the other two at various points, but like they didn't know about me, and I didn't know about them. Here it is. I wear the chain I forged in life, Marley's ghost admits to Ebenezer Scrooge. I made it link by link. During the early months of 1960, Lyndon Johnson was forging link by link his own chain, and it was a heavy one. So you get where Mixed Signals Queen, you could see her. She's like, I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link. During the early months of 2024, Mixed Signal Queen was forging link by link her own chain, and it was a heavy one. This is her. This is her. Hey, so we found out that you're having apparently have had relationships with two different guys, and there was like a third one before that that you were trying to report after saying that he made you uncomfortable, even though you came up and went by him, and you're just causing a lot of problems for people. And you also almost got fired for being late over and over again, even though you live close to here. And her response to all that is, "I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link." So much gossip and drama revolving around this one chick. I have to repeat what you wrote. I was like, yeah, that's what's crazy about like this. Like, I don't even see them talking this way about other women there. That's like the only one where everybody's like, yeah, something is wrong with her. She wears the chain she forged in life. She made it link by link. Seriously, man, I've never seen somebody just destroy themselves this effectively. Like, all she had to do was if she wanted to date one guy, just don't do anything with the other one. You know, just so much self-owning. It's really astonishing. And man, I'm telling you, I've been part of the social circle up there. When they talk about other chicks, they usually talk about like, oh, this one is, you know, really slow at doing the job, whatever. Right? But it's never like, oh, this one, she gets down with three guys or two guys. Like that's the only one where they're talking about her being this like callous, weird, flaky, flip flopping individual. That like she's just the weird one, basically up there, the one that nobody likes. She brought it entirely on herself. I'm not even kidding. I'd love to make an account with a picture of her and just have it right. I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link. That's exactly what she's doing. I think I did mention right the one that said she wants to beat up the manager. I'm like, how are you gonna say you're gonna get somebody else in trouble, right? Like call the job police, but then you're gonna also fight someone that's in a position of authority over you. Oh no, something happened. I hope not. Oh, my neck. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, gossip never seems to outrun these people. They do like a daily thing of just always finding a way to keep something going. It's actually really sad because it's like I don't know. I told you before. We were talking about like the era of waste, right? isn't it sad that all people can do is just create problems for themselves and others? Like, I do genuinely find something disturbing about you don't get reported by someone that you went and punched or like had this long running feud with. No, you get reported by someone who called themselves your friend not even 2 days ago. I guess it's true. There's a thin line between love and hate. Because to switch up on someone that quick, I have not seen that before. I've seen people completely change their minds on someone they've known for like, months, years, right? But in a matter of like 2 days, that's crazy. They use that word friend so way too loosely. Let me see what it was or so. Yeah, they use that word friend way too loosely. Well, I never took it seriously because you see these like terms of endearment that people use, and then you look at the way they treat you, and you're like, is that really how you feel about me? Like you saw that, Molecules was like, oh, bro, I'm saying all of this with love, but you don't love someone if you're gonna tell them that to get their expletive together and then completely leave out the part where they're working every damn time they can to afford all this stuff. So there's a lot of like terms of endearment that get thrown around that just don't mean anything. No, these people are not your friends. They're not your friends. They're not your amigos. They're not your pals. They're not your buddies. You're nothing to them, and they're not. They really should be nothing to you, bro. My own brother doesn't even call me bro. That's the funny part about it. Like they use it gets thrown around so much. And like my biggest problem is that it doesn't mean anything. Like if people I genuinely consider myself friendly towards or friends with, I just call them by their name. I feel like my actions will show that they're my friend or that they mean something to me, calling them, seeing how they're doing, asking them if they want to hang out, whatever. Like showing some interest in them. I'm just saying it's really sad that they're like this. They use these terms and they feel like it means something. She sounds like a narcissist, but to be fair, you sound like one too. I was like, do you guys even know what words mean? You just like pull out the thesaurus. It's like this word looks big. I will now sound smart when I use it. It's like, no, you have to make sure the meaning is also used when you use the word. Dude, imagine like somebody saying that you're the same as the person that stood you up, wasted your time for weeks, and then reported you after they got mad that you made fun of them. Like, you're the same as that person. I can't explain how, but you're the same because I called you the same thing as them. Let's just pick out any random long word that looks sophisticated and try to sound smart. Oh yeah, they love doing that, man. Regardless of its meaning. Just dude, I remember back when I made like some romance video about how, I think that we should just like leave chicks alone, right? If you like, you focus on yourself and act like in the general sense that you actually do things you find fulfilling. And again, this is just what I do, right? It's what I do. And this guy's like, says I'm trying to impose regimentation. Like, what? That's when you make something the same for everybody. Like, I'm saying this is what I do. It's like that's why I said they use these big words and then they think they're like getting you to no, you don't even know what you're talking about. Hey, maybe we should focus on ourselves instead of wasting our time with these stupid chicks. You're trying to impose regimentation. Like what? Just weird. No, they love their big words. I'm telling you, if people say something that they think sounds smart, I hope they at least know the meaning of it. Get out there and win. They got to make it sound so profound to almost like they've taken the word by storm. It's like, ooh, that one sounds good. Let me see if I can use it somewhere. And then him and his like fake motivational speaker thing, get out there and win. Especially ones who take the time to write a huge paragraph. That's my thing. I never saw people before who could like write a bunch of something and still say nothing. You know, like on the train wreck video, they go on there and they start talking about dudes like these, and I was able to pick out what you did wrong a minute into the video. It's like, yeah, but where do you explain or articulate why I should not be upset by the behaviors of the women described in this video? Nowhere to be seen. I'm telling you, man, they come out the clear blue sky. I'm trying to think what's the worst thing she's done since we stopped speaking to each other. It's got to be like I thought at first it was her spilling that stuff on me, or what was the other one? Uh, name. But I think this one might be the biggest one because it's like I didn't even know she was just doing all this weird stuff with these guys until they brought it up on Tuesday. I had no idea she showed up to the company event with the other guy in their pajamas. Why can't she just get fired already? Dude, I tell you, she has plot armor. Like, she came like so close to being gotten rid of after all those late instances. Like, I'm not kidding. Took her in the office and they said, listen, we don't want to get rid of you, but if you keep showing up late, we're gonna have to. And ever since they told her that, she's been coming on time. Her and her plot armor. Imagine me showing up late 6 times and oh, his girlfriend is this woman, but then he's also talking to this other woman that has a man. I would have been out of there. Because it's not even just like the tardies, it's the fact that you did something like that in front of the place. Like nobody reported you because they're not, they don't tell on people, whatever. But it's like, I wish I had that same kind of luxury with the people I deal with. I wish they would keep stuff that I do hidden. That was me when she showed up after like being late those 6. I was like, why can't she just get fired already? And that plot armor is strong. You can show up late over and over. You can do weird stuff in the parking lot right in front of the place. And that's why I said it's like really disturbing. Like it's right in front of the place. Like you pretend this is the front. This is how like the car would be parked, like facing, like the side, right? So you come outside and you see these two in this car, and then she gets out and her hair is all whatever, whatever, and then she goes in her car. It's like you clearly don't care about people seeing you because look at where you did it. Tired of hearing how this one chick is bypassing all these rules and regulations, completely disrespecting the business and others around her. Well, she disrespects the business by showing up late and doing the like nasty stuff right in front of the place. And she disrespects others around her by giving false reports and leading multiple men on to think that she wants to either be friends or do something with them and stand them up. She's just despicable, man. And like I said, because she's a coward, you can't directly say anything to her unless you're at the job with her. And like if I send her a text and I said, "Hey, can I talk to you?" She's not going to respond. Especially now she's enthralled with her new man. Can't call her. Only way is to talk to her is to catch her outside during one of her breaks, and she won't even speak to you. She'll be too busy on her phone. Like I said, I remember when that night after the whole, I'll pick you up at 8, and what was the other thing? I'm watching the video. I damn near had tears in my eyes because I was like, I did all this stuff just to try getting somewhere with her, and it led to nothing, right? Just total waste of time. I can't even sit by the bastard anymore. But I just kept thinking about it, and I said, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of everything being one-sided. I'm tired of being treated this way. Um, she can go to hell. I'm serious. I don't enjoy not speaking to her, but I mean, hey, if that's the kind of person she wants to be, then let her go down her own path. You want to sit there and try and get me in trouble and then not apologize and then be so dumb that you almost get yourself fired for showing up late over and over? She can go to hell. She's a horrible person. Well, you saw what I said at the end of the train wreck video. And remember, that was done. Dude, that always was like the craziest thing to me. Like I put that video up Friday morning, and like by Friday afternoon, I was getting calls like, "Oh no." I wish I had held off on doing that video for a few days because I would have definitely added that in there. That would be even more proof of the train wreck. I didn't see that coming at all. Like that happened on a Sunday, and if 5 days pass, we're not speaking again, whatever. But when that lady called me, I went, "What?" And I told you she tried to play up the whole like anonymous thing, like one of your fellow employees said that you were recording them on Sunday, and they felt it was like, no. And I said, no, I don't have any recordings of it. And then I said her name. And it's like I know who this is. I don't talk to any of the rest of them the way I speak to her. So her trying to pretend that she didn't. I just think it was funny because like the lady just completely dropped the anonymous person thing after I said her name. I was like, let's not even pretend that we don't know who this is. There's only one woman that would be crazy enough to come and sit by me and then try to act like I did something to her, and her name is, and I said it. I told you, I'm still wondering what her plan was. Like, they don't check phones, right? They don't like go through your phone with that at that job. So it's like, did she expect me to be like, oh yes, I have a recording of her, ha 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 ha, and then get reported and then like have them write me up? Like, Why would I admit to having something like that? I'm serious. Like I've really been scratching my head trying to figure out like what did she think was going to happen? They're gonna call me and ask me, do I have a recording of her? And I'm just gonna be like, yeah. I tried to talk to her about it. She couldn't explain what her rationale was. Because to me that didn't make any sense. I just think it's funny. It's like when you can't say he was making you uncomfortable because the things he was saying, because you sat with him for almost your whole break. So you have to say, oh, this thing he was doing made me uncomfortable. Must have acted on her emotions full of rage and hatred that she didn't really think it through or how it would pan out. Think it through of how it would pan out. No, she definitely didn't think through how it would pan out because, like I said, me and that lady, we had a completely cordial dialogue where she took my side. I told her about the history of me and this crazy coworker, and the lady only hung up because she had to go and like answer some call from somebody else. Um, so it was like I was scared when it started, but when I found out what it was, it changed entirely where she was on the defensive. It is a very serious report, but I'm just saying to you that look, the thing with me and these chicks is I don't touch any of them. This was the only one out of any of them that had my number and like I would actually talk to. So I instantly knew who it was. I knew that she really didn't have anything on me because I could show proof where she had engaged in I hated using this term, consensual relationship with me. So you can't go and say, oh, he made me do this or I didn't, he's been bought. It didn't work. She would have had better luck reporting me for the cricket. He's sending me these drawings of naked animals. But I could still show where she consented to me sending her my drawings. So that would be even harder, I guess. I should go up to him and be like, I just can't live without you. I miss your lying and your backstabbing and your treachery. The real highlight of my week was seeing you and your 30 pounds of makeup. Just had no idea she was that messed up. No, I didn't. But I tell you, it's like every time I think I thought when I started like not talking to her, that would be the end of it. She just keeps finding more and more ways to come up. All this stuff with these guys has happened since I stopped speaking to her. Like in the past 5 or 6 weeks, she's gained a reputation for like stringing two different guys along, dating one guy, but then also having some weird thing with the other one. And now that I've revealed the thing between me and her, it makes her look even more like, what is wrong with you? Because it's not even just like the leading somebody on thing. It's the fact that you had this person that you called your friend and then you reported them over like a really stupid allegation that you knew was dumb. And then you never even apologized. Like you should have heard one was like, she never apologized. Like, no. Because even they were like thinking, hey, at the very least, if she does something like this, she's going to say sorry, right? Nope. Tell you, no standards, no ethics, no morals, no integrity. This is a society of very poorly behaved people with almost no shred of humanity in them at all. That's why she is this unique. I've never heard of a chick like this before either. Man, I'm telling you, my perception of her back when I first started was it's just this chick that wears a lot of makeup that, like takes orders, whatever. Um, I thought she was like okay, whatever. But when I made that decision to ask her to go see a movie, I started finding out more and more and more and more and more stuff about her. And the more I saw, the less I liked. She is unique. That rabbit hole, man. Like, I'm not kidding. If we go back to the start of this year, I had no one up there that I just despised. I had no one up there where every time they walk past me, it's like, ugh. But she found a way through a combination of agreeing to do things that she didn't do, expecting you to just, I guess, put up with it because I'm female, so whatever. And the just a general treachery involved with her where like she can change on you really because I still, even if she stood me up, had like lingering feelings like maybe I was too mean to her. Maybe I should be a little bit more understanding, right? Because I felt like, am I really going to despise her now because she stood me up? Like, is that really going to be the thing that makes me just never talk to her again? And I got on my knees and apologized. I put it in the video. You saw the message I wrote her. And I thought after I did that, hey, we can start again, reconciliation. But she had a new twist. I just won't agree to see a movie with him. I'll just keep saying I'm busy week after week after week. And that got old real fast. She got confronted over being a liar, not even in an aggressive way, but just like made fun of. And she decided that she would try to get the last laugh by, getting me thrown out of there. That rabbit hole. I'm serious, man. I had no idea any of this stuff was. I wish I could go back to just the way I treated her before. I didn't even pay any attention to her any more than anybody else. It was just high and by. Because after that movie thing, God. Isn't it sad the one time you try to be like outgoing, it just backfires so much? Like you ask somebody to go see a movie and it just progressively blows up in your face. God, Megumi, the one thing I wish I could have done was record when she asked me when I asked her to go see a movie. I wish you could have seen it, man. Because it's like if you saw the way that she like how readily she agreed to that, and the way that she started acting right after, like in the days after, and that throughout that week, and then of course now it's like two different people. I really would have loved to see it. I swear to you, man, it was, hey, you did anything on Saturday? And then with a smile, she's like, no. Want to see a movie? Yeah. And after that, the exchange was some of the effect of, we'll talk about this later because she went out the door, and I was like, dancing in joy. Damn near, I was like, finally, a modern woman has done something right. But of course, I'm telling you, like it was easier than I thought it would be. In my mind, I said, "Hey, she's probably going to ask what kind of movie is it?" Or she'll say she doesn't want. Like I ran through in my mind the scenarios. I didn't. I truly wasn't expecting it to be that simple. God, it's just turn my dream of going to see a movie into a nightmare of me getting in trouble for something stupid. And they have the nerve to tell me get over it, let it go. I'm not getting over anything. An entire saga was born. Dude, you know what's funny? It's like I'll never forget the first interaction I ever had with her. I brought it up to her after she agreed to see the movie. I was cleaning the stuff back there, and I think she either tapped my shoulder or she did something to get my attention, but she like initiated it and she was like, "Do you have an iPhone charger?" And I said, "I do, but it's in my car." And then like the next time I saw her, I was like, "Oh, I have my iPhone charger, so now we'll have double the power, or we'll have all the power." Like some joke about I have the charger out in my pocket and you can use it. But I always remembered that interaction because it was like that part of that same thing where people only talk to you if they want something out of you, right? And that was like again the first time I spoke to her, and I remembered her because she was the one that had all that damn makeup on her face. But man, I had no idea that same broad would just no clue what was coming. And it's crazy because I told you that the thing with Miss Revolving Door ended the same week I started working there. It was like the first or second week of November that the thing with Miss Revolving Door concluded, where the boyfriend was like, it's either him or you or whatever, right? I thought, okay, this stuff with these chicks is over. I'm done with them. I'm sick of them. Little did I know the brand new, even crazier one was right on the horizon. Oh, boy. Trade one poison for another, I tell you. I'm serious. I had no idea. No earthly idea. An entire saga was born. Dude, how is the Mixed Signals Queen novel even going to end? Like, because the plot, like, it's gonna have like that third act plot twist of her having the other guys in her harem. But isn't this kind of a depressing story? You go and like talk to some woman you don't even normally talk to them, and it all leads to ruin. And like, what lesson do you learn from that? Just don't even bother. Reverse their hair, dude. That was funny. That like that lady really thought we had a romance. Like, forget a love triangle, a love square where it's like her and these three different guys. Like, no, 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 no. And I told you the crazy part is all three of the guys wear glasses. So if you're a young guy and you have like spectacles, she's probably someone that is interested in you. I said, man, that's crazy. Like that's like our one single thing we have in common. She's interested in guys that wear glasses. That's funny to me because it's like I remember when they used to say online, take off those glasses, stop wearing glasses. I was like, well, hell, I mean, every guy that she wants to do stuff with wears glasses, so I should have gotten some contacts. Then she wouldn't have noticed me. Dude, imagine the love square. Like, it's her on the left. Well, I guess I'm left-handed, so I'll be on the left. Then it's like the guy that said I'll pick you up at 8, right on the bottom left. Then on the bottom right, it's the actual guy that she's allegedly with. Then on the top right, it's her, and she's just like, oh, like the picture of her is the face she made when I asked her, if I send you a message, will you respond? Oh my god, these chicks are awful. You gotta make an icon of that face of her. That thing has been burned to my memory, man. You know what's funny? That's what made me never want to send her another text message again. Like the only message I sent her after that was the cricket, because it was like stupid to me. Like, you like me, you say you like me, but then if I send you a message, I can't get an assurance that you're gonna write back to me. Like, are you serious? That'd be funny. I told the other two guys and we staged an intervention. Like, we're concerned about you. You're gonna have to pick one of us. Yeah, that would have weirded me out to the point of not messaging her again. I felt disgusted by that because it's like sometimes people do genuinely forget to just respond, right? I have. And I did ask her the first time, like, hey, I sent you a message. You didn't say anything. Which when I asked her, like, can I call you? And then she told me she's not a call person. But it's like, if you like someone and you forgot, right? You forgot because it happens. And they ask, hey, so if I see another one, can you reply? Like what is that? Just stupid, man. I'm serious. After that, I sent one more message, the joke one of the cricket, and that was it. That was all I sent. Maybe she'll pay more attention to me if I come to work in my pajamas. I'm not kidding. I almost want to get like a damn actress and just pay one of them like a few dollars and just come up there with me and just have them like, you know that like the PDA stuff, right? Like, and it's all designed to like make you look like you're this big playboy or whatever, stud or whatever, just because they always try to make somebody else feel bad when they do that stuff in front of you. God, all this just to go see a movie. Oh, I told you that what she did has affected me when it comes to other women that work there, where it's like on Tuesday, one of them left the hour before I did, and she was like waving at me, like through the window or whatever, and I just looked at her. She waved at me like twice, and I just looked at her. And then the other one, the one that I think I told you that has the nose ring, tried to like give me a high five some weeks back, and I just stared at her because it's like if you can get into this much trouble over just sitting next to somebody, them coming to sit by you, by the way, imagine what they can twist by. He waved at me, yeah. He waved at me, and his hands were dark. I'm not interested in that. They can twist anything. Oh man, I feel so stupid for even putting up with any of this stuff. Oh, but the one good thing is that as bad as she was, there won't be another one. You'll get more updates about how stupid she is because she'll keep doing dumb things. But in terms of like, oh, here's another one I really like, and there are other ones I do like. I'm not letting this happen again. You really can get in trouble over the most stupidest things they try to twist. Yes, you can get in trouble over standing next to somebody. You can get in trouble over calling somebody a name that's not even offensive. You get in trouble for looking at somebody. The funny thing is, the one with the nose ring tried to say she was my friend on Tuesday, and I laughed. I said, yeah, that's what the other one said as well, referring to Mixed Signals Queen. She's like, well, I'm not her. It's like, yeah. I told her anyway because I just, I told you I'm done protecting Mixed Signals Queen, but it's like, I would never in a million years think any woman that works there is my friend. As much of a betrayal as the other one was, You're right. They do throw that word around really loosely. Like here's a broad who I don't even talk to outside of when I'm there, and you're gonna call yourself my friend. Okay, are you gonna keep going at this? Dude, I would love so much if one day she actually did try to reconcile with me. And as a joke, I'm just sitting there like on my phone. And as she's talking, I'm just like, okay, are you gonna like keep going at this? I would have I like, that's the I remembered like distinctively what was said because that's one of the few times where she was like actually like directly angry with me. And I would have loved if she said that and actually spoke to me and like put the phone down and you know, now I'm not talking about no altercation or anything, but just like I would prefer someone to be directly hostile with me than do the passive aggressive thing because at least then we can actually have a back and forth and talk like people trying to discuss something instead of I speak to you about my grievances and you just sit there like this, like you know what I mean? I'll never forget that image, man. The whole time you get to see the side of her face, and it's not even like that. It's just like this, and you make your jokes, you make your comments. I told her that she found me amusing for a while, even calling me a friend. But the one thing she loves more than a friend is to see a friend fall, die trying. This her. What the hell? I said, in spite of everything you told me, eventually you hated me. She's like, what are you talking about? I remember it, man. Every piece of it. Do the face. No. Why not? Because I don't feel like it. Oh, by the way, I could also say that when she came outside and was like, "You're reading," that's because she thinks I'm illiterate because of my unpopular color. I could also say that. I think I will actually. I'll say that. Yeah. Because like, why are you so shocked and surprised that I'm reading a book? Like, you didn't think I could read? You think they gave me my high school diploma because they felt sorry for me? They gave it to me because they thought I was pretty? Did they think I flirted my way to graduation? You're reading? What are you reading? It's like, why? I'm not allowed to be curious? No eye contact at all, man. Throughout that whole 7 minutes, I think she looked at me like twice. And very briefly at that. You're reading? I tell you, they think I am just the stupidest person, man. I tell you. You got to be on your phone. And then let me see. It's because when I look on the chat, it sometimes you got to be on your phone like she is and everyone else. Yeah. And it drives me crazy because like the whole time I was addressing her, I looked at her directly, facing her, and she's just staring at the phone. Can't even acknowledge me with a look back. That damn reflection again. Drove me nuts. Dude, I'm sure. I wish you could have like imagine things from the perspective of that one woman. Like you see her messing with this one guy that you're kind of friends with, and that's weird. Okay, whatever. But stranger things have happened. Then you find out that she actually is dating some other guy, right? And they're doing stuff right in front of you. You're like, what in the world? And then like at the same time as that's happening, there's this other guy who you're not really close with, but whatever, you'd like speaking to him, I guess, here and there. And and he keeps making comments about some woman that like tried to get him in trouble, that betrayed him, that stabbed him in the back. And you're like, okay, okay. And he's like, and you're like kind of curious, like, who is this? And then he finally tells you, and it's the same broad that's stringing along the two other guys. That must have been fun to imagine from her perspective. She got a real bombshell on Tuesday. You should have seen her face. She looked like she found a damn 4-leaf clover. She was like, what? No way. People have never been so surprised. She couldn't believe it. Huge plot twist. That's crazy that it was like a plot twist for both sides, right? Because I thought she wasn't dating anyone, based off of what I had observed, right? So it's like I found out about the pajamas thing with the one guy, and then them doing nasty stuff in front of the restaurant. Then she found out about her like stringing me along for 2 damn months before she supposedly started dating this other guy and messing with the other. You get where like everybody surprised everybody. And the only person who knew all this stuff was the mixed signals queen herself. I'm telling you, man, I'm supposed to see her. Let me see, tomorrow, and let me see what other days. Uh, Is she gonna be there on Tuesday? Let me see. Yeah, Tuesday. And is she there Wednesday? Yep. So I have the privilege, the honor of seeing her 3 days this week. The great amazing thing that is. But I guarantee you that in seeing her 3 days this week, there's going to be at least one day where she does something weird or somebody else tells me about something she did. Because now it's not even me like observing her and doing stuff with her anymore. It's like I'm finding out stuff she's doing with like through other people from other people because they all know about the like specific feud / animosity that we have for each other. It's really funny. I'm not kidding. One of them is like, "Oh man, she was doing this. Wait till I tell Justin." They just just became the reservoir for all the information about her. It's crazy. And they believed me real fast too. I was like, "Hey, I got all the screenshots of the messages. All that stuff is still there." They didn't need to see it to believe me. Like think about that. They didn't even need proof that her and I had ever spoken because her reputation is so crappy that any guy could come forward and say, "Yeah, I did this with her, or she did this to me." And they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I believe it." Of course, there's no reason for me to make that up, but still, dude, I'm not kidding. I had the screenshots ready to go. I was like, "All right," like I had my whole archive of messages with her all around, right? Because her reputation right in the gutter. But you know where that's funny, right? Where I'm like, "Hey, if you don't believe me, I've got the screenshots." They didn't even need to see them. They were like, no, I buy it. God. Dude, she is slowly becoming the most like disliked broad at that job. I'm not even kidding. Like when the last time she left, the only person who said bye to her was was one of the managers. And they always say bye to, everybody. But you know where that's funny, right? Where it's like they didn't even need proof of what I was saying, because I always offer proof. I'm not just going to sit here and talk about something and not have any evidence of it. God, you're right. She brought it on herself. She wears the chain she forged in life. She made it link by link. Three men. Man, that should be the name of a movie. Imagine it on the poster. It has her like at the bottom, like just looking up, like her like full body looking up, and then like the three guys like cut up their images where one of us is looking left, one of us is looking right, the other one is like looking down at her. And this is an evil woman, I tell you. Megumi, I know you might get sick of me talking about her, but she is a gold mine of entertainment, and like new stuff just keeps coming out. Like this is I have barely spoken to her since the end of March, second to last week of March. And we've had her ignoring me when she asks me a question, I answer it, her spilling stuff on me, her pretending she doesn't recognize me when she takes my order and then trying to charge me twice as much for the order. Her apparently getting messed with by the girlfriend of this guy, and then this new stuff with her dating this other guy, and then that unraveling. Love Square should be the movie adaptation of the novel of Mixed Signals Queen. Well, the problem is we don't even know about the other two guys wouldn't factor in a book until like the second half at a minimum. Because if most of the book is like that period of uh talking to her from December or January or whatever all the way up until March, then you wouldn't get the other two guys in this tale until the last like few chapters where there's much less happening or going on. I'm not even kidding. If I do the Mixed Signals Queen novel, I'm gonna just have like illustrations of her, and I'll make it look just like her because I don't care. Uh, and it'll just be her like attacking me in various ways. Like maybe the picture of the first chapter would be like her giving me a hug, and then when we get to like the backstabbing stuff, you get like the pictures of her like attacking me in the various ways because that's how I felt. I'm not kidding, man. I remember when I came to the job one day to get something because I was like in the area, but I wasn't scheduled to work that day, so I just came there to like pick something up. And she walked past me almost like a zombie, like just it was so weird. Of course, Jem would show up this damn late. That's a prerequisite of his. Jem, I'm still waiting for you to comment on those two documentaries I did. Any day now. I'd love to see you comment on them. I would be a very happy man if you comment on those videos I worked so hard on. Oh no, we're going as well. I can't say without getting demonetized. We're going as a word that rhymes with this thing behind me that you used to open. Jim, I never thought I'd see the like. I thought like I was done with. Remember, you said like stay away. I left her alone back at the end of March. I found out she was messing with some other guy, and his girlfriend got mad and was calling her at 8 in the morning. Then we find out that she's got a boyfriend that she apparently showed up to some company event with in pajamas. So they were like trying to send a signal of like, yeah, we're together. Then apparently one of the nights where they were closing, some of the coworkers observed her like jumping in his car and then coming out with her hair messed up and then going back into her. The saga continue. I'm not an active player anymore, but here's the thing: like, I don't care about protecting her. The chick is nitroglycerin. I don't care about protecting her anymore. But here's the twist: because she was so embarrassed by what happened with me, or whatever the reason was, no one knew about what she did to me until I mentioned it to some of the ones up there. They only knew there was these two guys that she was going back and forth between. They didn't know there was a third one that it started with all the way back in January. And I didn't even know. I only ever saw her talk to the two guys like once or twice. I didn't even know there was like a whole. It is drama, but I didn't even know there was a whole like set of events with them either. Also, Jem, I know you probably never saw my unpopular color, but I was making a point of how at this job, a lot of the people there treated me not that great. I was one of the few blacks that worked there. And I was noticing that out of these three guys that she's had this stuff with, I was the only black one and the only one that she apparently tried to get in trouble. Like, she didn't even try to get the guy in trouble whose girlfriend was messing with her. And I just thought it was so interesting how, like, I couldn't even get her to go see a movie, but then, she'll jump in the other one's car and try to, like, date the other one. And, what I mean? Like, it just seemed like there was a racial component to it. She's very toxic. She's so bad that when I told the two different chicks about what happened with her, and I was like, hey, look, you don't believe me, I have proof. They instantly believed me because her reputation is so lousy and she's known for jumping back and forth between, I guess, these two different guys. Like, it's incredible that in such a short amount of time, 5-6 weeks, she has really been just destroying herself. Like, they didn't even need to see my proof to believe me when I recounted what she did. I had the screenshots ready to go. Megumi was about to print them off the presser. I was like, oh, no, stop. They don't need it. I had a copy of Bill O'Reilly's book. Was it Killing Jesus? And I was like, I said she's gonna Mixed Signals Queen is gonna write Killing Justin. It's gonna, and then I'm gonna like have a copy of Killing Jesus. Like, this is how they're gonna take me out. Thank God for surveillance video. Yeah, for first we get him with a false report. Then we go around pretending to be friends with him. Then we accuse him of things he didn't do. They have a whole list. I'm just imagining me on the cover, like smiling, not knowing that the hells that are coming my way. Dude, she is like the spot, like her. I'm not kidding. When I asked her to go see a movie, like it was whatever. Ever since I stopped speaking to her, she has turned into a pariah. Like nobody likes her anymore. Except maybe one of the like some of the managers will say hello. But as far as like the rest of the chicks that are there, they can't stand her. I don't blame them at all. I'm just saying that you got to remember when that thing started back in January and all the way up until it ended at the end of March, last week of March, I didn't tell anybody there about what happened with her. It was just every week I would get and do my stream and talk about how stupid it was. And then I had like two relatives I told about it, my friend, very few people knew about that stuff. So imagine my surprise when I'm thinking, oh man, if I tell people what she did to me and they like me, they'll probably like not like her anymore. And most of them already don't like her. Have to be pleasant to her legally. I don't know, man. I had one manager that would only speak to me when they wanted me to do something, and I mentioned before that person has turned around. I mentioned that they only ever said hi to me once in like the first 3 or 4 months of me being there, and they act completely different now. Just totally transformed. I don't know what happened. I felt like persona non grata, but ever since the last like few months, they've been a lot kinder and gentler. Megumi, the saga continues. Dude, imagine we split it, mixed signals Queen 2, and that's where it's like all these revelations about her past and the other men. Oh my god. Legally, they can't be mean to you. If they are, you can get them for creating a poor work environment. I want to get her for creating a poor work environment. I never had an arch enemy at a job until here. This is the first time. I'm serious. I never had like any job I had in the past. There was never someone where like every time they're around me, like, and they walk, we make eye contact. I quickly look away. They come in the room. I try to leave as fast as I can. Dude, she should have been terminated for showing up late all those damn times. She should have been terminated for having, I don't know what they did in that car right in front of the place. This past week before last. Plot armor, man. These people act like gods. No. It's one of no. It's no. I know who it is. It's one of the guys. He's of the same rank as us. I'm just saying that you're not supposed to do something like that in front of the play. People, I told Megumi this earlier. If you want to actually date a coworker, you're not going to be stupid enough to try and like be overt about it in front, like at the job. That's why I said she's stupid. Killing Justin. I'm just imagining her reading the audiobook. This is how we're going to take him out. That's her blueprint to just getting me gotten rid of, I see Megumi has faded into the wind. He got his fill of mixed signals, Queen. He's like, man, he thought those UK chicks were awful. They have nothing on her. He said, this is insane. I need to cleanse myself with some great, amazing United Kingdom fellows. Like, man, she is awful. I tell you. Megumi was right. When I asked her to go see a movie, it was like I went down a rabbit hole. Like you could slap a damn white and blue dress on me and call me Alice, because that's exactly what I turned into, trying to figure out what the deal with her was. I'm serious, man. Like I didn't know she was any, like none of this about her until I made that mistake. I'll never try to be friends with another one of them for as long as I live. All she had to do was say no. Oh, that makes too much sense. Remember my recollection. She not only did she say yes, she said yes, not even knowing what the movie was. And I even said to her when I walked into her car, after we started speaking again, hey, if you don't want to hang out with me, you don't have to. I said those exact words to her. I mean, if you want someday. And that day never came. What did Obama say after he won in Iowa? They said this day would never come. That the day of us like actually going to the movies never came. It was just a fantasy. Lagumi, do you have anything else you want to say? I don't want you to get vanished or swept up in Jem's comments. Just an awful girl. Well, I tell you, these modern chicks, they don't have any standards or ethics or morals. They're just vapid husk of people. That's why she can go and get somebody in trouble, or try to anyway, and not even apologize to them. This person that she called her friend, like you're nothing to her. And she's so awful that even other women that work there don't like her. Like none of them talk to her. Um, the only one I've seen that talks to her is like one that like also is in the front, or when they're assigned on some joint task. But besides that, mm-mm. She completely destroyed her reputation, which I do find very funny, because usually they say that I'm. You know what I think is so interesting? When I do a video on one of these like insane chicks online, I always feel like I have to show proof because you won't believe me. With her, she's so disliked that when I told the two like chicks that work there, oh yeah, I was trying to like do stuff with her at the start of the year, and she, wasted my time, tried to get me in trouble. They instantly believe me. They didn't even need proof, because like, why would he make this up? And look at what she's already done to these other guys. I'm telling you, man, she is just she's on a speed run to oblivion, honestly. Like I'm astonished at what I've observed over the past month and a half. Like I thought once I stopped speaking to her, that was it, but she just keeps finding ways to keep crawling and coming back. This really is like a comic book. I mean, the recurring villain. Every time I leave her alone, I just keep hearing more stuff about her. Uh they just clue you in with it. I really was not expecting this like whole revelation of her being, with some guy, and then it's like a love triangle that people don't know who's. Oh man, just an awful girl. That's the understatement of the year. It's just, I wouldn't even call her a girl. I would call her a fiend or a ghoul. Because they don't act like human beings. They don't. That's why I don't usually refer to them in that way. It's like, what person do you know would stand somebody up at the last minute to go see a movie and not apologize, and they get mad at them, and then start talking to them again just to like keep leading them on for nothing to happen, and then report the person after they get their feelings hurt for being made fun of for being a flaky, lying jerk. So, Megumi, do you have anything else left to say before I try to wrap this up? Because I am getting pretty sleepy. I've now just 4 hours of streaming today. Wow. I wanted to do it for as long as I did because, again, this is me being home alone for as long as I was this week. Is only happens once a year, so I wanted to make sure we got the most mileage out of it. Well, it was her mother's fault. I mean, you can say that, but I do feel like the canceled first. It wasn't a date. I didn't want to date her. Everybody likes to keep putting this romantic tinge on this. I was not interested in her in that way. To be fair, you sound like one too. Okay, outing. Dude, if I really wanted to date her, I wouldn't have even tried. Dude, I almost you sound and then he's hiding his face as he says that. But I almost wish I was attracted to her because if I was, I most certainly wouldn't have asked her to go see a movie with me because I don't ask out chicks anymore. That's been dead. So if it actually was romantic, then it wouldn't have progressed even to this point. It's its own antithesis. By the way, Megumi, I want to ask you: do you think if your mother stood somebody up, I just want to ask you, your mother, your sister, someone that you trust or whatever, if your mother or your sister stood somebody up, they would just not care that they did that. They wouldn't apologize, and that they would like try to get somebody fired because they lightly teased them or whatever. Just want to know, Jem, do you think your mother would try to get somebody fired because she got teased after? Do you think your mother would even spend like multiple weeks telling somebody, "Oh yeah, I'll let you know," and then never actually letting them know? Exactly. They are most certainly not that way. So inhumane. Let me see your comment because it always gets hidden by that heart on the side. They are most certainly not like that in any way. So inhumane. No, I believe that because I think about like for example, my grandmother and like the way she would do is like if she made a mistake, she would apologize for it. There was one time me and my grandpa went into this store and I had this like Coke Zero, all these different Cokes, Coke, Diet Coke, regular Coke, whatever. And it was like right next to her Diet Coke. And I came back out and some of my Coke Zero was like depleted. And I was like, hey, what happened? She's like, oh, I thought it was the Diet Coke. I'm sorry. But you get the point of like when she would make a mistake, she would actually feel bad about it because that's what a human being would do. This woman is not, she's vindictive. She's a liar. She's at this point not even a person to me, more like an animal. Because I don't know how someone can live like that where they can just be completely fine with, oh, I almost got you. I could have gotten you fired. Can we just please drop it? Well, look, I'm not that much older than she is, and it's like I felt bad about not speaking to her. I thought I had done something wrong. Like when I have coworkers where I'll sometimes accidentally ram into them. Uh, And like I'll say sorry or oops or like something to that conveys a genuine desire of like I didn't mean to do this. She spilled all this stuff on me 2-3 weeks ago. Sorry. Thought it was funny. Megumi writes, I can imagine some guys rushing to defend her. Well, those women at that job are not, and that makes me very happy. Because they've seen what she is up close. From the moment you mentioned as friends, I knew it was going to be an issue. But I didn't think it would be this big of an issue, Jem. How do people just have no humanity? Like, she can just casually stand up multiple men, whatever. That's her most iconic. It'd be fun. There's like a site called WikiQuote. If she had a page on there, that would be the quote in her info box. We're going as friends, right? Jim, do you think if you spilled something on somebody, you would laugh while you apologized? You go, sorry. Megumi, do you think if you spilled something on someone, you would laugh as you were apparently expressing remorse? I genuinely feel bad and apologize. Man, I remember one time when I was in, I think, 12th grade, there was a guy that was like sitting in front of me at the movie theater, and I think I was like trying to step over someone, or you're trying to like get into the back seats or whatever, and my tub of popcorn spilled on him, and like my heart sank to my stomach because I was like, oh my god, sorry, because it was by a complete accident, and I felt bad. But that's why I said that like she does not behave like a human does. She has this thing where she can just feels like she can get away with anything, treat people like dirt, and there's no consequence for it. Almost don't want to call her a her anymore. Just say it. I'm serious, man. Like that's why I want her fired. She should get fired. Well, I think she's going to eventually slip up. Cause like I didn't even expect like the whole like showing up late thing was whatever. But I just think she's doing a lot of weird stuff that's gonna catch up to her. And I can promise you this: if I end up having something happen to me up there where I can't work there anymore because I'm scheduling conflict with another job, or they decide to get rid of me, which after 6 months I'm not sure they will, but you never know. Every month is a new challenge, every day is a new struggle. I promise you this: I won't leave there without letting damn near every single person there know what she did. The whole like Justin protecting woman that doesn't care about him era is over. I'll spread that like wildfire with screenshots and everything. I'm like, hey, buddy, let me tell you about this. Da, 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 da. I'm serious because I feel like if you can try and get me in trouble, again, why should I protect you? It's almost 9 o'clock. But man, I'm telling you, there's something inside these people that's not human. A lack of empathy, a lack of any type of compassion towards someone else. Like when she canceled on me that day, that was a day where I had deleted my whole schedule just to make sure I'd be able to go to the movies with her. And she thought her little crappy 2-word message was going to be enough for me to not be pissed. I'm serious, man. These people, they're something else. They're not human beings. They can do something to you and feel nothing from doing it. I mean, you can say the triangle's power, but I just feel like there are women that exist that don't do this. So no one today is doing that. I can't picture one of them doing something like that. You know, as bad as Miss Revolving Door was, she had no shortage of apologies, man. All the way up until the last day that we spoke to each other, she was saying sorry for something. The final call that we had, she started off by apologizing for creating the atmosphere that would cause me to even feel like I had to make a video about her or to, respond directly to just the stuff she was doing in that format. So that's the one thing I give her credit for. I never felt like as much as I thought she was, weak in the knees and got strung along by this guy that she was dating, I never thought she was incapable of recognizing when she did something wrong. This other one, it doesn't bother her at all to just treat another human being like dirt. They feel nothing. Changing or putting off their schedule of over things to make plans work for the guy they agreed to hang out with. I'll let you know about tomorrow. It's like, what? You let me know about tomorrow as early as Monday, and now on Friday night you're gonna start backtracking, dude. That's what drives me crazy about her. Like I remember that week, and just only the night before do you start signaling that you might not be available for the next day. Man, you get all excited for nothing. You know what I mean? But her mom had something for her to do. Guys, I'm gonna just say this: if you're an adult and you have a car, and somebody asks you to do something 5-6 days in advance, there's no damn excuse why you can't do it. There just isn't. Like it's not like you've been given enough time to make sure on that day you're not doing anything else. It's stupid, man. No excuse. Remember, I asked her on a Monday, and it took until Friday night for her to start signaling maybe I might not be able to do this, and then to finally pull the plug on Saturday, the hour before. I'm glad nobody recorded me that day. I looked really insane. I was going down the street swearing up and down the storm. You just got through standing in this line for 5 hours for nothing. Then you have this other person that you thought you were going to do something with, and they stand you up too. The hour before is ridiculous. Jim, do you think if somebody asked you to do something on Saturday, on Monday, gave you a 5-day notice, you would cancel on them at the last minute? Magumi, do you think if someone asked you to do something on Saturday 5 days in advance, it would take you until the hour before to be like, I'm busy, I'm not available? So I feel like, who does that? I'm visiting relatives. Yeah, the one day where I want to hang out with you, you're visiting relatives. Absolutely crazy and no consideration whatsoever. And I told you with her, it took her over a month to apologize for that again, and it wasn't even like real. She's like, sorry. And dude, let's not even talk about the I'm not a call person thing. We don't even have to mention that. You already know how insane that was. Never in my wildest dreams I think I could meet a woman in real life that told me I couldn't hear. I could see her in person, but I couldn't hear her voice over the phone. That doesn't make any damn sense whatsoever. That was like the first clue that something was wrong with her. Like, how the hell are you gonna tell me I can have your number? You're gonna give me your number, but I can never hear your voice, acting like you're God, dude. Like a deity, like an actual deity, wouldn't even do that. Tell you that you couldn't hear their voice. I'm gonna do that. I'll be like, you can watch my stream, but you can't hear my voice. So like when I stream, I'm just mute. It's just you staring at me for an hour. It's not like you haven't heard her voice before. You know, there are some chicks online that do the whole like, I don't want you to hear my voice because I don't like the way it sounds thing. But it's like, I know what you sound like. We work together. I hear your voice for multiple hours each day. When you're taking orders, when you're walking back there asking me to do something. Like it just was weird, man. But again, you know she's full of crap because you see her on the phone with people outside all the time. I mean, hey, let's not forget the what's another part of it? You do art, and then you send her a drawing, and she doesn't even respond or look at it. My friend was like, that means that like when she got the picture, she just like swiped it away and just kept doing whatever. I tell you, that's why that March 23rd thing will always stand out to me because it's like you sat there and you believed her when she said she was a not very social kind of person. You rationalized all the weird stuff she was doing to you as this is just how she is with everybody as she tried to claim she was to you. And then you hear her agree to get picked up by somebody else. So I feel like I've been slapped in the face. I said it that way on Tuesday when I heard her say, okay, after I'll pick you up at 8, I felt like I'd been slapped in the face. You're gonna spend 2 months trying to get this bastard to go see a movie, and she can't do that with you. But man, tell you this is a backwards era. This is my last night of freedom. I better make the most of it, I guess. We're good. Do you have anything else left to say, Jim? The 11th hour ranger. I stayed a little bit longer. I mean, 4 hours in one day. Damn, but I stayed a little bit longer so Jim could speak. I wish he would return the favor by speaking on those, videos I did and put a lot of effort into. Other than I get to make a comment, I got to make a comment on your recent video. Well, I would appreciate it because, like I said, I'm not some like woman hating monster. I'm on the side of logic and common sense. When those guys write that weird stuff, I'm not on their team. I thought no one could love me, but I was wrong. Okay, where's your woman? Crickets. Where is she? Is she in a box? Is she playing with the fox? Is she hiding behind a frown? Did she skip town? Where is she? Where'd she go? Wherefore art thou, Barry's woman? And I do look forward to your other ones. I think we're gonna have to make the unpopular color too, because that stuff with her. I'm telling you, if you consider all the racial stuff over there, right at the beginning of when I started, it's not as prevalent now as it was back then. But like, if you consider the perspective I had on that stuff back then, and then like the way she treated me compared to the other two guys, who again she only knows through the job as far as we can tell, and like I don't think it's coincidental. I really don't. I feel like if I were another ethnicity, doing all this stuff to like try and be friends with her, there is a very strong chance this wouldn't have gone the way that it did. Because the way that she treated those other two is a lot more open and willing to do things with them than than me. And I feel like there's something there that's not just, oh, the way you behave, turn it. No, 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 no. My unpopular color, the sequel. Jim, anything left to say? I wasn't even planning on doing the sequel of that video because I pretty much said what I wanted to say in the first one. But I tell you, I never had a job before this one where I felt like people really did not like me because of my ethnicity. I never felt that unwelcome somewhere before there. And the way that she acted towards me, it only like if you put it in the context of how the rest of them act or have acted toward me, it makes sense, in my opinion anyway. We talked before about how like a lot of the guys when they do that woman defending stuff, they like to pretend that you're saying something or doing something so wrong and evil. But I look back at this stuff and I'm like, what more could you have done? Like, was I supposed to not get mad when she stood me up? Was I supposed to just every single week keep waiting and waiting and waiting for her to go, I'll let you know, and like finally tell? I mean, what, like, when does it end? Like, at what point do you get to throw in the towel and say, this is stupid? Was I supposed to say nothing to her after she reported me? Like, what more do you want? So I said, it just seems like it's all designed to always find a problem with the guy. Like, I'm tired of it. Oh boy. Well, look, I appreciate you coming, Megumi. I tried to give Jim getting the brush off so many times deliberately. But you know, my point is like, how much longer are you supposed to just put up with that stupid stuff? Uh, I don't know. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Dude, I'm so glad I don't have to hear that stupid catchphrase anymore. I'll let you. I don't know. I'll let you know. The last time she said something, she thought it was like funny to just string me along. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Dude, that's like one of the top 10 worst things anyone has ever said to me in real life. Like, along with, remember, I don't owe you. Remember that one? Well, look, I hope you enjoyed the stream, Megumi. I hope Jem did as well. I think I know he's like too busy watching his hero, Jerry Falwell, but I appreciate you for showing up and have a good rest of your weekend. And I'll try to be back on Monday. I'm not going to make any guarantees because I don't know who's going to be here and what they're going to try to do. But thanks for showing up. And remember, these people do not act like human beings anymore.